The illegal elbow.
Elbow techniques.
This is the elbow.
An elbow from here. I'll throw the elbow.
Yeah, the illegal elbow.
All right, people, we're back, man. Illegal Elbow Radio, another exciting episode for you guys, man. This is Brian from Illegal Elbow Radio, Illegal Elbow on Twitter.
And this is Dan from MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter.
Great variable. Hell yeah. Dan's got some delicious craft beer. I got some iced tea.
Wings and skins.
Hell yeah. Had a good meal, so hopefully we'll be back. The sound's going to be fucked up in here, so we're not going to do it here, so. UFC 189. We're back here, MMA Aftermath Homestead. We just had a great meal. It was awesome, man. Great baraboo. Highly recommended.
Oh yeah,
Dan
craft beers, whole 9 yards.
Hell yeah, Danny had some craft beer. A little iced tea action for me. Like I said, good meals. But we're going to get to the card. Which one you got on tap first, brother?
We got a Dennis Bermudez, 15-4, going against a Jeremy Stevens. This is an interesting fight. I got a Dennis Bermudez in this one.
So do I.
It's
I can't. Yeah, it can't. It's like the Nate Marquardt thing, man. It's like I'm not going with Jeremy Stevens again and then getting fooled on it.
So we'll see where that lands out. A real interesting fight that we're going to be keeping our eyes on big time. Pulling up a seat for this one is a Gunnar Nelson versus a Brandon Thatch. Okay, Gunnar Nelson's coming in at 13-1. Brandon Thatch coming in at 11-2. After a lot, a Rick Story taking out a Gunnar Nelson, exposing him basically to the world. And if a Brandon Thatch can pick up on this, it might bode well for a Brandon Thatch who basically has got, he's got some reach on him, he's got some length on him. Yeah. Gunnar Nelson, I think he needs to push the pace and stop with this fucking wait and bait shit, man.
No.
And a Brandon Thatch, Gunnar Nelson's going to be coming out with a little bit of a different game plan than a Ben Henderson is, I think,
Yeah.
So we're going to have to see here.
And he's got to pick it up. You know what I mean? Because Thatch is going to have reach for days. I mean, the guy's 11-2. He may as well be 11'2" with his friggin' reach, man. It's nuts. But Henderson was able to get inside and make it happen.
Magic, yep.
Yeah. So if Gunnar Nelson is not watching video on this guy, it's just another, detriment to his career, man. He needs to watch video on that guy. And I'm confident in the guy. I think he'll learn from that, from that Rick Story fight. Thatch is still new, new to the big stage anyway. But he has looked really good. So it's hard to make a call, but I'm gonna say Gunnar Nelson, man, myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Gunnar Nelson. I think, because we put him kind of like a next level guy, probably because he's got all the attributes in the world, man.
It's good everywhere, man.
But my thing is, he needs to, like I was talking about, the wait and bait. He needs to push this. He needs to push the fight, and don't wait around for somebody to figure your shit out, like a Rick Story did, man. So you need to push the pace, get up in Thatch's face, bring him to business. We'll see what's happening. But coming up next, man, is the immortal Matt Brown, 21-13.
Another good one, man.
Going against the Tim Means, 24-6. We got another, I would have to say, knockdown, drag-out fight, man.
Yeah, I got to go with Matt Brown, but it's going to be good. And Tim Means is one of them dudes. He's got an excellent chin, and he's like a Matt Brown. That's what's so cool about this fight is they're a lot alike. They're mean dudes, and
the heart for days.
Yeah,
so
guts and heart, man, and just brute and brawn and tough ass guys, man. So it's gonna make for an awesome fight.
And skipping forward a little bit, man, some of the other fights that we got going on here. Let's just skip forward to the co-main event, which if they were to take off the Conor McGregor and Chad Mendes fight, this would be a perfect main event card, man. Really, it could have let its own pay-per-view. Really could have let it off. But Robbie Lawler coming in at the champ Robbie Lawler coming in 25-10 against the challenger Rory McDonald 18-2. Rory McDonald showing a lot of people a lot of things, destroying a Tyron Woodley, absolutely destroying him. with the push kick.
Took him way outside his game, man. That's the thing, man. When you
confused.
Push the pace on a Tyron Woodley like that, he gets lost. You know, like you saw with Nate Marquardt. A lot of people, Tyron Woodley this, Tyron Woodley. No, dude, you back this dude up. He has problems.
Game plan. Yep.
He has problems.
And he wouldn't even be, if you watch that fight, Tyron Woodley wasn't even pulling the trigger. Like, you'd figure, like, just let your hands go, dude. You know, fuck it. He was just confused.
Majorly confused.
Shelled up, turtled up, kind of almost froze up, and just got punished. But Robbie Lawler, man, a lot of people are looking past a Rory McDonald, but I think this is going to be a big test for a Robbie Lawler. It
is.
And going against a Rory McDonald, and he shouldn't overlook him because Rory McDonald, with his size, his strength, and not only that, his ability to keep evolving in the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, that's why I kind of give Rory McDonald a little bit of edge in this, because he's been in there with Robbie Lawler before. So he'll do his homework, come back, and
we're talking about a different Rory McDonald right now. You know, his last 3-4 fights, we've seen a different Rory McDonald.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's been in there with him before, and he's learned from that fight, and he's looked to improve after that fight too. And I kind of weigh in the area of Rory at this point.
Yeah, same here. I'd have to go with a Rory in this fight, just for the simple fact, I'm not going to say that he's being overlooked.
If Lawler wins, I definitely would say don't put Rory in another top fight for a little while.
Exactly, but for him to win, in my opinion, it's going to have to be, he's either going to knock him the fuck out, or he's going to outpoint him and outwork him.
He's going to have to outpoint him. Yeah, I think that's what I think.
Because I think I'm going to have to give the upper hand to a grappling, to a Rory McDonald, and I'm going to have to give an upper hand on the ground if he doesn't allow a Robbie Lawler to invade his space, keep him at bay, kind of like he did to Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Those push kicks, keep him at bay, keep him against the fence, rush in, do some attacks, some knees, work in the length. I don't know. Robbie Lawler might be in trouble here, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tougher fight than the first one. And I think Robbie Lawler will go in this differently, as he's been in his last couple. He's gone in just happy-go-lucky, and it works for him.
Yeah,
it works for him. It looks good. He won the belt with that, but I think he's going to come up to a much harder Robbie Lawler or Rory McDonald this time. I keep switching the damn names.
Yeah, but we both are going with Rory McDonald on this one. I think it's his time.
I think it's really close, though, man. I could almost lean towards Robbie on some aspects. Maybe striking power. I could lean in an area of a Robbie Lawler, but it's pretty damn close for me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-em-out fight, and at the end of the whole damn thing, it's going to be at the end of 5 rounds. They're going to give a Rory McDonald the decision, and if they don't, it's going to be a controversial decision for a Robbie Lawler if he does win, and it's close, because I think I'll have Rory McDonald outworking him. So we'll see. Conor McGregor coming in here, man. He hasn't shown us a lot. He's beaten some guys like a Seaver and stuff like that, man. And we were going to see a true test against him and Aldo. Aldo pulls out, okay?
Sucks.
We can sit there and bitch about, the rib injury and, him being cleared by the doctor and still choosing to pull out, which brings us up. There's people saying, well, was he going to piss dirty, or, bringing up all kinds of fucking questions. Was he scared? We brought up that question.
Right.
Was there a fear aspect in there?
Did he get in his head? Which I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, and Conor is. I mean,
this is the 5th time that Aldo has pulled out of a title fight too. So this is not like something that he's never done before. He's known for this,
right?
Which
he's known for injuries too, especially later in his career.
And that brings back to what Brian's saying about some culpability about these guys that have the belt. Like a Medvedev, who is that? A Minikoff over in...
Yeah, come on already, man.
A Minikoff. We had a Cain Velasquez. We had a Dominic Cruz.
There's no reason why these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to take whatever 6-7 months off and make it okay. I'll be back in a year.
I can understand that off of surgery. If you're coming back and rehabbing off of surgery, but these guys are like getting the ankle sprain and a rib bruise. Come on,
and I want to see a year and a half off. In between fights.
I want to see the belt unified before the end of the year. Us fans deserve that. Before the year's over, us fight fans deserve this after having to deal with the fucking hype train that's been about 5-6 months of hype.
World tour, and the fight's not even happening. I mean, they put so much money into this. UFC's got to be shitting all
when
over
this
the
was
place
announced,
off.
people go back to Spreaker, Illegal Elbow on Spreaker. We did a show when this was first announced, and we said, I bet you fucking somebody gets injured. Bam, look at this. If fucking somebody's injured after all this. But
an injury or
that
two
being said,
every card.
That being said, Conor's new, and I'll give a little props to Conor. Conor's like, well, Aldo was up there. He was checked out by his doctor, and he was checked out by his gynecologist, and they both cleared him.
And they all think that he can do this.
Yeah, they think he can fight. But
that's about the only thing I can do about his accent. Is the think.
But and then he I give him props for not saying, hey, I didn't train for Chad Mendes. He could have said that. So I don't want to fight. He's like,
that's
fuck
not
it.
him at all. Yeah.
No, it's not him at all. And he's going to go in there, and I think he's going to. Chad Mendes is going to give him problems. But at the same time, I think Chad Mendes, I think he's a little bit shorter than
he's giving up some reach too. Yeah.
And I think he's going to have trouble with Conor's style. So I do think Conor is going to win. But I'm not going to say Conor's going to, knock him the fuck out, okay? Chad Mendes got some fucking heart here, okay? He's not coming in against a scrub. So Money Mendes coming in here. I hope he does well, but I do have Conor winning this one, and there's still going to be questions to ask. We want to see the Aldo Conor fight. Just, hey, that's it. That's what we want to see.
And nobody wants to see Conor or Mendes Aldo too. So that's the drawback of this. Don't be surprised if some early stoppage happens or something like that, because they definitely want to see Conor. You know what I mean? I could see it happening. I mean, people, whatever, I could see it happening. Some early, hey, if it looks like
we've seen some shady shit before.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like to think they're not, they're not pulling anything. Holy gravy, it's hot out here, but I like to think they're not pulling scams like that. But how do we know? You know what I mean? Really. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an early stoppage if somebody hits the deck or something like that. If I'm talking about Mendes. Mendes hits the deck, we might see an early stoppage.
Yeah.
Just to preserve their...
Or if he goes down, turtles up, or is he getting rained down upon, Herb Dean might do a... Herb Dean might not even be reffing and come out of the crowd and stop it, so we don't know. But...
I think it's going to be good. I think Mendes has got a great chin, man. So, I mean, Conor is going to be trying to light him up all night. And we can't forget, Mendes has got bricks for hands too, man. And
Conor's been known for dropping fucking guard a little bit, when he's, dropping his hands a little bit. People have noticed that.
Cocky, yeah. And I mean, I think this is going to be, obviously, by far, this is the biggest test for Conor. So, besides an Aldo or whatever. But I think once you get a Conor in maybe a third, fourth round, facing some good adversity, we really have to see how this guy digs deep, because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I don't think has he gone to decision?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, not at least not in his last few. So once we see him go a little further into late third, fourth round, we start to see, what his cardio is really made of, because every time he comes in, he weigh-ins, he looks emaciated big time. I'm sure he's pretty well hydrated on fight night, but...
If Aldo come in and whip the fuck out of a Mendes, we're going to expect Conor to do the same thing, right? To take out a Mendes.
It's true, but it's we can't put Conor on a Aldo.
No, I'm
level
just saying.
Yet,
I'm just saying that the less questions there'll be after the fight. The more questions there'll be if he struggles, takes it to a decision. And there's any time it's like, okay, well.
This goes to decision. It's going to suck.
Yeah. But
it'll be what it is. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and he's got a built-in excuse for I didn't train for him, and this back in the whatever. I guess we could just take it for if he beats him, then hey, he's deserving. Interim belt doesn't mean shit to anybody around here. You know,
Right.
it just means in UFC terms, if you got the interim belt, it means that the champ is just is on vacation.
Right.
You know, acting like he's got an injury. But
you got the guaranteed next shot. That's all it really means. It doesn't mean dick.
But that being said, man, we haven't gone over every fight, man. This is a condensed video here. We wanted to get this out for you guys. We just kind of went over some of the fights that we're really interested in. You know, like the Gunnar Nelson and all that. You know, so
Jeez, we're going
the
to battle
Immortal
here, man.
There's all kinds of fucking bugs out here. But people, we are on Spreaker. And Spreaker, if you want to follow us on Spreaker, you don't need to sign up for shit, okay? You just go to Spreaker, you hit follow, and it'll ask you, do you want to log in with your Facebook? So you don't have to go in and get all your information. You can just log in with Facebook. Bam. You're part of the Spreaker family, man, with us. Fucking come on, follow us, write some comments. We'll be looking for you, man.
Hit that like button, too, man.
Hell yeah. And head on over to illegalelbow.com and see all the topics and all the content that Brian's got on there, man. Fucking badass shit.
One more thing, though.
Oh.
I want to say to YouTube people and Twitter people, all those others, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate it, man. 'Cause we noticed YouTube video, or YouTube, because our Spreaker show is also on YouTube on my channel.
We'll probably be making this into an audio show as well as being on YouTube, so we'll have all the bases covered.
But our YouTube views have gone up, so we really appreciate that, too.
Until next time, though, brother.
Steadfast.
God.
Beer.